What's up? I'm Andre Mohring. I'm a producer, music director, sound designer, and I'm here checking out the Jamstik Studio MIDI Guitar for the first time today. Right off the bat, it's definitely responsive, especially on this particular patch. It's definitely really responsive to kind of the subtleties of the playing. Yeah, it's got like really good like velocity response, which is tight. That's impressive. The just like multi-chord response and multi-note. Yeah, like if I'm like bending one note, but it keeps the other one in place there. It's catching both of those things. So that's actually really, like in my production, I feel like I'll often double up a guitar riff, like kind of like a heavy riff with a synth version of it. And as someone who's not rooted in keyboards primarily, I always have to like take a sec to really, I'll play the guitar part in and then I have to take a sec to really figure out whatever the same part is on my little MIDI controller, and it always takes a little sec. I could imagine this being sweet to just like track that in immediately and get a little more. I feel like there's just like certain cadences that come with different instruments, obviously, and it's a lot of times MIDI cadence is by nature associated with the keyboard and how the keyboard is played. And so I feel like this kind of opens up the opportunity, especially for people who are primarily guitar players, to just get to express with their natural musical cadence a little better, but in a MIDI setting with synthesizers and whatnot, or soft synths. If I were to just like be looking for inspiration for production or whatnot, this is already stuff that I might, if I were to just sit down on my little MIDI controller, I might not pull up the same thing or the same ideas as when I have like access to a full fretboard like I'm more used to. I'm a producer keyboard player in the sense that I, can operate around the keyboard enough to produce music, but I'm not a player, so to speak, whereas on guitar, I'm much more familiar with just like being able to work in any key, or, transposition up and down can be a little easier. And that just might lead to kind of more diverse creative applications. Yeah, I mean, there's just certain things where it's just like, it just goes a little bit harder when it's played on guitar. Like you can just feel. I noticed right here there's a octave. You can just bump up and down the octaves that it responds to, which is nice. It's like if I want to make that more of a super shreddy lead thing. And that's really where it shines, I feel like. It's just those moments where you get that kind of expression that you have, which, I mean, yeah, if you're a shreddy synth player, you might have that on your mod wheel too. But first reactions, I love that there's a super upfront, not in the background octave shift, because that is like right when I picked up the guitar, that was the first thing I looked for, because it was like, oh, this patch is one octave lower than I expected it to be, and I was worried for a sec that was going to be somewhere way in the background, but it's not. It's right there, which is sick. Let's see. I've been sitting in leads this whole time. Let me get into the pads territory. Let me chill it out a little bit. See what I can find. These presets are great to start. Okay, this is fun. So I'm gonna take it up an octave to start, which is right there. lot of cool presets in here. I'm gonna remember that one because I like that. I might see what a couple other things are. That's great. It like actually picks up full chords properly, which is like, I feel like it could so easily not do that very well, and it does, which is sick. This is also great too because it allows you to just like your voicings are going to be different. Like even if I played in that exact same part on a MIDI keyboard, especially like a smaller one, like chances are I would voice it very differently. And if I wanted to get it to that voicing, at least I personally as a non-keyboard player would probably be doing some clicking and dragging of piano roll MIDI. So that's pretty sick. Let's try the first one because I had fun with that. Get into the nitty-gritty of that. Okay, so we have three different sampler or three different instruments here. 2 samplers, 1 oscillator. You can obviously bring those in and out. You can kind of check out each one independently. That's cool. That has a little bit of that high end on the top there. Oh. That's like a violin. It's called Breathy Pad, but it sounds like a kind of like a violin sample that's been manipulated. I'll add that back on the top. So if I go into, I like the dragging. I feel like other plugins should just be designed that way in and of themselves. I could do this for hours. Sick, that's awesome. It's like super expressive. I'm already playing this instrument differently than I would on a keyboard, so yeah, it's tight. This is great. There's a giant selection of presets, which I'm a guy that says presets are good to go. You can use presets. You're allowed to use presets. That's why they're there. And they all sound really cool. At least the ones that I've tried, they're all really expressive. When you get into it, you can you have all kinds of control. You got your instruments on top here. You can bring those in and out. Effects, you can obviously add effects. This is like neatly organized, which is nice. Everything so far has been really intuitive. So it's the kind of thing where you can be as simple as just pulling up a whole bunch of presets, which is sick, or you can get really into the nitty-gritty of the sound design too. So it's great because it's just it functions so well with the instrument itself because it's designed for that exact purpose.